Going back to business, what's your management style or approach to, of course, handling employees or assessing problems?
Well, growing up, I saw my dad as a very strict person, autocratic kind of person, who his decision is the only right decision. His idea is the only correct idea. That's what I grew up with. And in my early years of management, I was kind of leaning towards that. And then some life-changing events happened, like I got admitted to the Harvard Business School Owners President Management Program, where it's a 3-year program actually, where in every year I spend 3 weeks in Boston, and I'm with 100 other presidents and owners from different nationalities, different cultures, different perspectives, management styles. And I actually realized that there are other ways to solve things other than what my father does.
So it broadened your perspective.
It broadened my perspective. So I've always asked, what's your takeaway from going to Harvard? And that's it, broadening my perspective. It actually taught me that, hey, my dad's ways are not the only right ways.
Yeah.
There are actually other ways. And in a classroom in Harvard, when there is a discussion, it's always one side of the room has one opinion, the other side has another opinion. And no one is right or no one is wrong.
I think those perspectives have value.
Correct.
Yeah, it just depends on the situation and how you can apply it.
That's correct. And I'm also part of a group called Entrepreneurs Organization. It's a group of businessmen from around the world, and there's a chapter here in the Philippines. There are 2 chapters in the Philippines, one that's based in Manila and the other that's based in Cebu. So, but of course, the Cebu chapter doesn't mean nga Cebuano ra gyud. I mean, there are members even from Luzon, even from Visayas, all over Visayas and Mindanao. So, the core value of Entrepreneurs Organization is trust and respect, thirst for learning, think big and be bold, and how do you call this? I forgot why did I forget it? There's a thirst for learning, think big, be bold, and together we grow. So the core values, I resonate to the core values, and I think it has helped me not only sharpen my business skills, but also help me grow personally. That's why I want to invite you to join us.
Yeah, maybe I can consider. But would you say your dad was a major influence, a major role model?
Huge influence. I mean, in this interview alone, we've heard his name
yeah,
maybe 100
bring him
times.
Up a lot.
Huge influence. But we are the type who clash.
But I think those clashes are healthy
to
a certain extent.
Whether it's healthy or not, we clash.
That it brings about.
But deep inside,
ideas.
I have so much gratitude. I don't agree with him with several things, but my foundation was really built by him.
Yeah, I think he was able to also pave the way for you.
Correct. Of course, no doubt. It's just that there are some aspects that we don't agree, or several aspects that we don't agree. But he laid down the foundation of who Afshin Ghassemi is today.
Yeah, because I imagine he must have went through his own journey. So
of course.
His
And he was a first-generation immigrant, and you could imagine the difficulties.
So
different
perspective,
different experience, different perspective.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Okay. What's your general philosophy in life? Or for you, what are we here for? What's our purpose? And of course, we see so much chaos within humanity.
Correct.
You look at the news, economic issues or political issues, or crimes. So. What's your take on
the
world?
When I was sometime in college, I did question the meaning and purpose of life, to the point that what are those questions that you're asking? What are we actually here for? I mean, why do we even wake up every day and work so hard when we're just gonna die someday? Those, and I actually question the existence of the higher being that is God.
Existence of God.
I actually question that, because coming from a family like with a very strong scientific, my dad is a doctor, my mom is a math teacher. So, although my mom's very religious, but my dad's more on the side of logic and reason, and
more practical, pragmatic.
Very well. There's really no way we could prove God in a scientific way. There's no experiment that we could use to prove the existence.
I think that would be a very long discussion also.
I mean, that's what was in my mind as a college student. So I said, is there really a God, and what's the purpose of life? And then eventually, I realized that why does doing good actually feel good? Why does helping others feel good? Why does loving others feel good? Why do we seek to love others? Why do we seek to do good?
There are these intangibles in the world, like love, the things you don't see, which are essential.
If life is just about 1 + 1 = 2, if life is just about science, why do we seek to actually make a difference in...
there are deeper elements.
Deeper elements.
We're not just a simulation or like robots that are here and we just pass. So there's something deeper.
There's something different. So I started to conclude that there is a higher being. I couldn't say that that's Jesus or that's Allah.
Pinpoint, but there's something there.
Or that's what's the Buddhist?
Buddha.
Or whatever people believe in. I couldn't pinpoint. Eventually, I lost my belief in organized religion because of that.
Yeah.
To the point that I
think there are many issues also with organized religion, because there's an agenda there. So for me, my approach is spirituality.
Correct.
So it's more of a personal.
So I think we're aligned in that. More is believing in a higher being, believing that doing good and loving and being good actually is what we seek for, and therefore life is not just about waking up every day and just doing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a journey.
It's a journey, and every time I suffer, I always consider it sometimes. I look at it positively as a way to learn and a way to actually
better yourself.
Better myself. So, I mean, it doesn't come to a point where I say I hate the Lord for giving me this problem.
So you're thankful for the problems, because
not really that I'm thankful for the problems.
They help you grow, or they're instrumental.
I embrace or accept,
because they mold you to shape up, get better.
But I mean, it didn't come right away like that. I mean, there are also times where I question.
Yeah, of course. I think it's part of our human
growth.
Condition.
Yes. I mean, you question, why do we have to go through suffering? Why do we have to go through pain?
Yeah, all of that.
I mean, those are all questions that...
frustrations sometimes.
Exactly.
They come
so
out.
Those things came into my mind, and eventually I was able to make my own conclusions. And like you, I'm also after spirituality.
Yeah, because a philosopher said, if there is no God, then everything is permitted, and it's really true. Because I think if everything was just random, then we would have no aim whatsoever. Correct. So there's something there
deeper
that's guiding us. Like, why do we strive to do good, or why do we care?
Why do we love?
To help. Yeah.
Why do we want to love and be loved?
Yeah. So I think those intangibles are rooted in
spirituality,
in God.
Yes.
Okay. So earlier you mentioned Harvard, that you studied during the pandemic.
Correct.
How did you decide to get into that?
So pandemic happened. Suddenly business closed. We were forced to stop operations, and I got bored. And I'm a person who really needs stimulus. I'm a very passionate person. Either I'm running, I'm biking, I'm studying, or I'm working. I should have a stimulus. So I think this is the right time to study, because what am I gonna do? There's no business. So I applied in Harvard. I applied December 2020. 1 month before the course started, I wasn't accepted yet, and I followed up. And
this was all online?
Online. Followed up, and I showed an article in the business world that featured me. And when I showed it, I think Harvard said, okay, this guy is probably worthy of a spot in Harvard Business School. So I got accepted just 1 month before the program started. And yeah, the takeaways are, as I mentioned earlier, is really the appreciation for diversity, appreciation for different perspectives. I think that's the biggest takeaway. I mean, apart from the technical things that you learn.
The people you meet also.
Of course, the people I meet.
And hearing their struggles.
And really being with the people who have similar issues.
Yeah, commonalities. Then you can compare notes.
Correct.
And somewhat have a benchmark.
And really, it feels good when you know that another person has the same problems as you.
Yeah, you're able to relate, and you don't feel so
when
alone.
You resonate, it actually helps. When you resonate with somebody, now you start to believe, oh, I'm not the only one.
You're not alone. Okay. So now you're based in Manila, right?
Correct.
So
yes.
how often are you in Cebu?
Usually, what brings me to Cebu is matters concerning my responsibilities with the alumni of Sacred Heart Ateneo de Cebu. So I'm Vice President Internal currently of Sacred Heart. I'm Shaba Chairman, and sometimes friends of important life events. Like yesterday, I was with the first birthday of my best friend's daughter. So those things bring me here, but generally I'm not here for business. I'm here for other stuff.
Okay. So during the pandemic, you got into Harvard, and during this time you also expanded. So
correct.
You were multitasking, you're focused on your business expansion, and also learning more, meeting new people. Plus the sport,
the sport was actually
so much on your plate. You know?
Actually, yeah. It taught me to delegate. Having so much in my plate actually taught me to trust other people.
Let go of some elements.
Yes. Even in the way I manage alumni matters, I don't do it like mangunay. Either I empower a fellow alumni or I empower my own employee
to do the task.
To do the task, diba?
Give them something to do.
So basically, my job is really to, lay out the vision, lay out the goal, the mission.
Yeah, that's leadership.
Yeah,
right?
And set the benchmark. I think that's really what my job is. But as to doing things on a micro level, I've graduated from that already. I'm 40 years old.
Okay. So in a month, you're in Cebu? Or how often are
there's
you in
no
Cebu?
fix.
Fly in, fly out lang.
Well, sometimes I stay overnight. Sometimes I come here to train outdoors because in Manila, murag wa kay kuyog, diri na akong friends. So we can do a bike to Busay or Mayana. So sometimes like I come to Cebu for something else. Then I say, okay, I'll bike tomorrow as well. So I schedule like 2 days in Cebu. Okay. But I don't think nothing more than 2 to 3 days probably.
Okay. Delving again into role models, you mentioned your dad. Anyone else inspired you or was instrumental to your growth? Or maybe key figures like Kiyosaki?
Well, of course,
or
the other key figure
mentors.
will be, of course, my mom should come in that list. Definitely, she had a huge impact in my life. Other people probably is people I look up to, like John Gokongwei or
Tycoons or Forbes list.
Jaime Zobel de Ayala. These are people I look up to, and I read about their life and their biography, and maybe other people like maybe figures like Nobel Prize winners for social responsibility, and I think these are all impact. Those are all the kinds of figures that I want to learn more from and try to emulate.
You mentioned social responsibility. What are you envisioning in that regard?
Going back to our discussion about spirituality, where we talked about our life's purpose. We cannot just be working for ourselves and
for others.
We have to also.
Time will come. It's for other people.
Yeah. Maybe we have to also thank our alma mater for
those foundations.
The foundation of the foundation of being men for others.
Being selfless.
Being selfless. I mean, these are things that are already inculcated at the back of our head growing up. So, basically, I am able to do this through different organizations, although not my company. I do it through EO, and our batch 2000. We have a program called 2K Cares. And EO has a program called EO Cares. So basically, the program is about helping others help themselves. We are not into. We don't believe in dole-outs. We hate dole-outs. We don't believe that giving a person a fish will
Confucius.
Yeah. I always believe in
Teach them responsibility,
correct.
Right? Don't just feed them.
Yeah.
Kay mga nad na noon.
Well, there's a saying feed a man a fish and feed him for a day, and teach a man how to fish and
feed him for a lifetime.
Feed him for a lifetime. So that's basically our guiding principle. So in 2K Cares, instead of giving money, we give them a sewing machine and we help them.
I fully agree with that.
That's one, and probably we give books to students, or when we became champions in 2017, we had a basketball clinic for kids so that they will not go into drugs, or probably we have. There was one time we sponsored, because we have doctors in our batch who also helped one person who had a leg issue. So that person with a leg issue is definitely unproductive because of his leg injury, and when the surgery was done, then he's now productive. So those concepts of helping others help themselves, and EO is also in the same spectrum of helping others help themselves. So we have EO Cares, where we impart skills like we have a member who owns Bruno's Barbers. So this guy brings his staff to teach the less fortunate how to cut hair. Or we have a member who owns a paint manufacturing company. So we actually teach them how to paint those things.
Teach them skills. Right?
We have some owners who have restaurants, so we also teach how to not only how to cook, but how to actually
run a business.
Run a business by
manage people.
We are not yet to that point, but we were teaching them portioning to make sure there's less wastage, to make sure they are profitable. They understand what profitability is, because it's not just knowing how to cook. It's not the only requisite. I mean, a lot of people know how to cook but could not run a business because they probably don't know how to make sure that there's an efficient use of the raw materials.
Yeah. So
So those are our advocacies. We say no when people ask for money.
Yeah, I think that's the more responsible and sustainable thing to do.
Sustainable, yes. I mean, that's one way of doing our part in society, and if all of us will actually contribute.
Yeah, I think that's the real kind of help.
Yes.
Not the, just give something, then eventually they'll come back for more, which...
Mga nad.
Yeah, as I said, mga nad.
They become lazy.
Yeah.
So,
or they'll abuse, or in the long run, that could happen.
That's actually a mistake on the donor, actually, also, for allowing that to happen.
So, I think it should be more of a long-term approach.
Correct. And
rather than, the short-sighted thinking of just giving something.
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Any future plans or anything you might want to impart, or a parting message to whoever might be watching?
First, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to share, some aspects about myself today. I've always wanted to be able to inspire people. I felt like that's one of my life's purpose, which is to inspire people. I think that's one of the reasons why I've been very privileged to have lots of skills, talents, gifts from God, because I'm supposed to share this also to others. So this is a platform where I believe I could inspire people, and I'm very happy for this. I would just really hope that in this talk I was able to, make you inspired to wake up every day and be productive.
Yeah, I gained a lot of insights as well, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so look forward to seeing you in the future. And
thank you, Michael.